So I believe I spoke about this game sometime around the beginning of 2017. When I saw the first gameplay cinematic trailer, the first thing I thought was, holy shit, this is going to be the best MMORPG we have ever seen. Of course, you know, that's totally opinionated and it's all personal preference, but my idea of the perfect MMO looks something like this, with these stylized graphics, and that's why I'm so hyped for Period Chronicles. I mean, that's kind of a lie now. I'm not really hyped for it anymore because I'm wondering, you know, where the hell is it? I'm not trying to get my hopes up, but back when I was on the hype train for Period, you can kind of see why. Even though Period is a totally different game and has some type of strategic battle card system, and this game doesn't seem to have that. We actually have some gameplay that we're going to watch later in this video, but to continue on to what I was saying, those thoughts of the perfect MMO were soon shut down when I found out that this will be a console game for the PlayStation 4. It is a game where you have to choose characters. At least so far we don't see any type of character creation. What we also can confirm is that this takes place in the Granblue Fantasy universe. So if you guys don't know what that is, it is a mobile game, a very popular mobile game at that. When I first heard about the mobile game, this was actually a game that I was excited about to try, but I don't think it ever came over to the West. So in Granblue Fantasy, it's one of those mobile games where you have different heroes or different characters. So if this game takes place in that universe, and throughout the trailer you can see a lot of different characters, I feel like this game will have a bunch of characters. And if it does, that would be amazing because each character can have different types of attacks or a different style of combat that will keep things interesting to switch up. Now, since it's a console game, that kind of hurts my soul just a little bit, you know. Not too much because I do have a PS4 and there are some very good exclusives, but I do like games that are also available on PC. And we'll also talk more about the PC version of this later. It's a possibility, but that was kind of a boner killer to just hear that it's coming out for PS4. And the other buzzkill was that, yeah, it takes place in this world, and so I'm assuming it's going to be just select a Granblue Fantasy character, or maybe there's only a few characters to choose from. Could be fine, but it could also be another buzzkill. This is the type of mindset that comes from someone who plays MMOs and expects to always have character creation and character freedom, and to kind of choose my own path in a game and do whatever the hell I want. I carry this mindset even into console games, and sometimes it affects the type of fun that I can have in these games. But the main reason was because I thought at first this would be an MMO, and I was like, wow, my savior is here. But I'm still excited for it because it does look amazing, and because it's taking place in the Granblue Fantasy universe, that could mean there's a lot of possibilities for cool features. I don't believe there's been any confirmation that this game will be multiplayer, which is something I really hope they have in this game because that could make it amazing. So they've put out new gameplay, and I'm very sorry for the quality of this gameplay. It was 480p and it was recorded at some type of convention, so forgive the shittiness. I will link it in the description if you guys want to watch it yourself, but you know, it does look shitty. There may be somewhere where there's a higher quality version. If so and you found it, hey, good for you. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned is that this game is being developed by Platinum Games, and if you don't know who Platinum Games is, they have worked on games like Nier Automata, that game with one of the best stories you've ever seen and like the best combat you've ever seen in gaming. So that's something to be very excited about, is that Platinum Games is behind this, and Platinum Games is just... So, like I said, you can see a 4-player party, which could mean there is multiplayer. And since it takes place in the Granblue Fantasy world, let's say that there is a system where you unlock new characters, or somehow you can choose dozens or hundreds of characters. Well, what if it's multiplayer and people can choose their favorite character? That would still make it pretty unique if there's tons of characters to choose from, just like in the game. Now, searching through the comment section in this video, I've seen some things that kind of stood out to me. Actually, the latest one, which was recently made 37 minutes ago, says the best visuals ever. Action JRPG plus Platinum Games plus Granblue, this is heaven. The English PC version is going to be bliss. Now, earlier when I was looking at comments, people were saying, I hope there's going to be a PC version, but right here the person says it's going to be bliss. After searching this up on Google and looking everywhere, I can't see any confirmation that this game will be on PC. In a blog post, they say that this will be their first ever console game based on an extremely popular smartphone franchise, so nothing about a PC version. The thing is that Platinum Games has ported quite a few of their games over to PC, but there's one more worry. They have not confirmed whether or not the game will release worldwide. And since we've never seen a Western release of Granblue Fantasy on the mobile phone, that's a little scary, because it might be hard to tell whether or not the West has a huge fan base that would make this console version successful. They never really gave us a chance, and I don't know why. But like I said, the Japanese version did release an English patch or English setting because they realized that a lot of people who speak English do play the game. Now, if it is a single player game, one feature they have in the mobile game is that there are raid battles. And in the raid battles, you'll be on your phone and you do damage to the raid boss. And then another player from their app does damage to the raid boss. So it's kind of like players from all over the world working together to kill a raid boss. So what if they have this type of system in the upcoming console version? If you guys have played Dragon's Dogma to the end game, you might remember a very similar system. I haven't played this game for years, but there was a huge dragon that everyone worked together to fight. And Dragon's Dogma was single player, but it did have some type of weird multiplayer system, or at least where you kind of felt like it was multiplayer because you create a side character that other players around the world could use. So it could be something like that, which still feels a bit lonely. That's really it. That's all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to show you guys this upcoming game that I spoke about years ago that I thought was going to be a massively multiplayer online game, but then had my dreams crushed. Either way, it looks good and I'm excited, but if anyone wants to know what my perfect MMO would be, it will look something like this. Actually, if you just skinned Black Desert like this and you added in some PvE dungeons, that would be the perfect game for me. Well, I guess it could use some better open world PvP. Maybe mix a little Arcade up in there. And yeah, that would be my perfect game right there. That would be the game that turns me into a NEET. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, at least learned about something new. Do any of you guys plan on getting it if it does have a worldwide release? And are any of you going to get it if it only releases in Japan? Share your thoughts down below and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you soon, friends.